Hello and welcome to the final out of the box. And last video, I talked about the BESM Fourth Edition role-playing game core rulebook. Today, I'm doing everything else. The first thing we're going to do, the first book that I have here, I have six things. I've got stuff scattered everywhere. Six things that we're going to cover. They're all going to be pretty quick, and some of them and one of them is going to include one of them I'm not going to do really much on because it's a spoiler thing. So let's get into it. First up, we've got BESM Naked. The best way to describe this is, by the way, art is similar on the front and the back, just with a little less clothing. This is sort of a light rules version of the game. If BESM Fourth Edition was the D&D Player's Handbook, this would be the book that comes in the Essentials kit, because this still tells you how to create characters, but it isn't as in-depth as the core rules. The art's still in color, a lot of the art is still the same, but as you can see from the size, there's a lot less stuff. But everything, like I said, everything is still the same. Even the character sheet's exactly the same. So it's just a matter of, do you want to spend, I think it was $60 for the full rules, or I think this was $35 for not watered down rules, but less. That's your decision. After that, we've got BESM Extras. This would be the Unearthed Arcana of Dungeons & Dragons, because this includes extra rules. Things that aren't in the main book. Sometimes it's not even... So there's a chapter on skills, because the main game does not have skills. It's just roll 2 6-sided dice, see if you succeed or fail. Expanded mechanics, optional rules, new weapons. There's actually a rule in here for diceless Big Eye Small Mouth. I would never do that because that would be way too much of a pain in the butt for me. Looks like there's new powers. So this is just a big book of extra rules if you do not want, or if you want more in your game. Plain and simple. Next up, we've got the Character Record Journal. It's a character folio. It's got an illustration for it's got a section for illustrations for your character. It's got a character sheet. If you're going to run a long-running campaign, this is the kind of thing you would want to get. Character history and family and the whole 9 yards. This you'd want to get for a long-running campaign. Though, this cost me, I think, $10. And, I run games with 6 people. It's a lot of money for this. If this thing allows you to photocopy it, I would just say photocopy it, or go on drivethrurpg.com. I know it's available on there. Then we've got the Introductory Adventure Scenario. This is on the Amazon webpage as number 1, so I assume there's going to be more. And it's just an adventure for, how many character points? 90-point characters. Yes, that's a thing. There are tiers of characters. The explanation is, in the myriad realms of an imagination, there are an infinite number of dramatic stories waiting to unfold. Explore the multiverse with BESM Adventures. Welcome to Carousel Obscura, the first story module in the BESM Adventures line. When the characters are summoned across dimensions from their homeworld of Molybdos to the strange fantasy world Magenta, they gain supernatural abilities. And that's what this is. This is I want to say, a 3-part adventure. That characters can go through. You know, it's a pre-made adventure, kind of like all the ones that have been made for Pathfinder and Starfinder and so on and so forth. It's, I've actually gone through this. It's really fun. I need to find a gaming group that'll play BESM. Next up, I haven't even opened this. Next up is the Big Eye Smallmouth GM screen. When I bought this at my local game store, it was shrink wrapped like this. I don't know if it comes shrink wrapped like this. The GM screen. Oh, okay. This has a lot in it. Well, first off, it's got the screen. And it actually sits up like this, with some really spiffy artwork. And there's a few rules on it. There's stat values, power levels, size modifiers, character benchmarks, building armor ratings, item armor ratings, planetoid armor ratings. And then in the middle, it actually has the mechanics that you'd probably need the most. Movement speeds, how long a game round is, dice rolling stuff. So, yeah, there's some decent stuff here. There's actually a chart on dice distribution results. So, I don't know why that's there. Not a big fan of the fact that there's you can see the cardboard right there. I don't know if that's going to affect how long this thing would last. I hope it doesn't. And then it looks like we've got here a reference table thing for armor and weapons. That's literally all this is an armor and weapons reference table. And we've got it looks like an introductory adventure. Yeah, this is an introductory adventure to take your players through. Apparently called You Have Chosen Wisely. I don't know if that's supposed to be, I haven't looked at this. For all I know, this could just be Mortal Kombat in BESM. I actually do have a neat idea for a game. Idea. It's, I want to see if Borderlands would work in this. Probably wouldn't. But it would be interesting to see. And I just ripped the shrink wrap. And the hell with it. I mean, this is going on my shelf over here, so. Lastly, the easiest thing for me to talk about, dice. There's 8 6-sided dice in here. 4 of them have this design, 4 of them have this design. I do believe the top one, the Triforce looking symbol, replaces the 3. And on the bottom, the symbol replaces the 6. Let's crack this open. You don't need to buy 6-sided dice for this. If you play any role-playing game, or if you... Okay, so this symbol replaces the 1. And yes, this symbol does replace the 3. I mean, if you play any role-playing game, like at all, that isn't Vampire or L5R or the new Star Wars, or if you own literally any board game that has dice, you are already swimming in 6-sided dice. And I mean swimming in 6-sided dice. So there you go. That is a video on everything else Big Eye Small Mouth. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Out of the Box as an ongoing series. When I started this series in 2010, there were so many games that I played that were out that I wanted to cover them. Now, unfortunately, we have hit the mark where I don't play Pokemon anymore, or I don't play the TCG anymore. I don't play Dungeons & Dragons anymore. Legend of the Five Rings is dead as a trading card game, and the role-playing game that I'm familiar with, World of Warcraft, is dead as a trading card game. Pathfinder, Starfinder, they release a new book like once every 3 months, and Magic the Gathering has just released so many ancillary products that it is ridiculous. And if I'm going to open something for that on camera, I'm just going to make it a random pack opening and call it a day. So almost 11 years to the day that I'm recording this, I started this video series with From the Vault Relics for Magic the Gathering. And over the years, it's been fun, but I'm moving on to other projects. At the end of the month, I have my first playthrough in almost a year coming. And I hope you guys stay around to watch it. So that's it for me. I'll see you guys next time for a vlog, or even part 1 of what am I doing first? Super Mario 3D World. So until then, take care. Peace.